South wind about 10-12 miles per hour. It'll be partly to mostly cloudy overnight, chance of a few showers, 45 to 50. Clouds and showers expected around 62-63 Friday. Chance a little snow, sleet, and freezing rain there, 32 Friday night. And a little bit of snow and rain expected Saturday, the high Saturday, about 40 to 45. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Catherine Drew. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg says he made a huge mistake in relation to the harvesting of users' data after it emerged millions more people than previously thought were affected by a data breach. Brazil's Supreme Court has ruled that former President Luiz Ignacio Lula da Silva must be imprisoned while he appeals bribery charges. And Bollywood star Salman Khan could face jail after being found guilty of poaching for killing a protected species of antelope during the making of a film.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday to you. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Kobila Jones, and my very special guests in the studio today are Mr. Ian Buchanan and Mrs. Christy Mathis Conway. Thank you all for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having us.
And they are here from Fullness of Joy Ministries here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And today we're going to be talking about an upcoming event for their youth and young adults. It's a whole weekend full of events planned. So before we get into that, we're going to get some brief introductions of Mr. Ian and Mrs. Christy. So take it away, Ian.
My name is Ian Buchanan. I'm a member of Fullness of Joy Ministries. I'm very blessed to be the donation coordinator for the Y Crew Youth Ministry.
And I am Christy Mathis Conway, very proud member of Fullness of Joy Ministries, located at 2120 Thorn Avenue here in Jonesboro, Arkansas, where our pastors are Bishop Adrian and co-pastor Susan Rogers. I've been blessed with the role of the youth director, youth pastor at that ministry. The youth ministry is called Y Crew, which stands for Young Christians Radically Expressing Worship. And I've also been blessed to facilitate or be over the young adult ministry there right now. And it's called YAC, which stands for Young Adult Christians. And I'm just glad to be a part of such an active and involved and progressive ministry.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for that. So before we get into the details of the upcoming event, let's kind of go back and talk about some past events and just the inception of this. I hate to call it a conference. It's a conference type, but it's centered around the needs of the young people, and in the not just your church, but in the community as a whole.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about some of the early years and how it all came together and how it has evolved over the years.
Okay, so first off, youth ministry and young adult ministry was a direct vision of pastors Adrian and Susan Rogers. They have always felt like that it was worth the investment to go out and pour into young people. And I've been a part of the ministry since 2000. And ever since I've been there, they've had an active youth ministry. The conference in itself, it started out as what was called a Yes Conference. And it was for young people ages 12 to 18, and basically it would be a church service that was in a weekend that was centered just for those age groups. And I remember early on attending one of them, and who's a pastor now. He was an elder back then. His name was Anthony Coleman. He's the pastor of Marian Church of God in Christ. Now, he hosted one of those Yes conferences, and I wasn't a member at that time. And hold on, wait. I was a member, but I had never been to an event like that. And when I came in, it was like smoke and strobe lights everywhere. And I was like, oh my God, what are these people doing up in here? You know? And so, but from that day on, I was hooked.
Okay.
Because it was something different, something I had never seen before. And that kind of laid the foundation of how these conferences have progressed.
Okay.
Every year, you're going to get something different.
Wow.
Something you've never seen before. And like I said, the Yes Conference, I was a part of that with Anthony Coleman, and then I was on his youth staff, and then it changed to where Miss Keisha Hagans was over the youth ministry, and she brought some very, some awesome things out. She's just an advocate and a pusher by nature, and that came out in ministry as well. So Keisha, for me, and the conferences that she was over kind of laid the foundation of community involvement. Okay. And so now we're here at this place to where it is centered around community involvement and outreach. It's not just for Fullness of Joy. And it's not just for Jonesboro either.
Okay.
It's not just for Northeast Arkansas. We call it the premier tri-state youth conference because we're reaching out to Tennessee. We have people in Memphis that are coming down for our for this event. We have people in Missouri that we're reaching out to. Okay. So we're expanding. We don't want it just to be one weekend for people here in Jonesboro. We want it to grow. And actually, we have a vision of this possibly moving from one weekend
to an
entire week in the summer. But of course, that's progressive in nature. That's vision, So, but that's what we're moving toward.
Okay. All right. So let's get into the impact it has had over the individuals' lives that have attended, not just the children. I'm sure the adults have been impacted as well, because you all have to be there to monitor, supervise, and whatever roles you play. So you are also absorbing all of the ministry that is being poured out. So let's talk about both aspects, the impact on the youth's lives and the impact on the adults' lives.
I'll take the adult life. I have a very vivid example of that. Last year during our youth conference, we was doing praise and worship, and the kids were singing and they were leading praise and worship. And we always create a praise pit down in the front of the church. The altar is open during praise and worship, really during the entire conference, but definitely during praise and worship. And they were singing a song that talked about the sound of heaven touching earth. And I remember just at one point seeing a young lady who is just really shy and reserved, and she was leading the song.
Wow.
And tears just began to fall down my face, and I was like, man, it's finally clicking, it's finally connecting. And all of the work that we've been doing, and all of the pushing, and all of the praying that we've been doing for it to actually become real, we're actually seeing the physical manifestation of that. And Walker has changed my life. You have to be open, you have to be honest. It forces you to look at some of the very ugly parts of your life, because you can't bring fakeness or non-transparency to our children. They don't receive it.
And in this generation, they can recognize it early on. They can tell when adults are just trying to put on, and they can tell when you're being real about what you've gone through. I try to tell young people that I encounter, look, I'm going to tell you enough right now that I think you can handle. If you want to know more, I ask God to give me the words to say. But yeah, they need it all. They need the good, bad, and the ugly.
Absolutely. Ms. Kabila, I'm going to take the same approach as Ian first with telling how, as an adult, how it's impacted. Or whatever. It's impacted me in so many number of ways. I can't really even count. We think that we're planning this event for youth and young adult, but when you get there, something always hits home. in the past 3 years, I'm talking about, it has literally wrecked my soul to the core. A few years back, we had the Truth come.
Oh,
and
wow.
he talked about the influence of music and our light as people, and how we're actually supposed to impact the world. And when we refuse to, we are refusing to help build the kingdom of God. And he talked about how our past impacts who we are today. And it made me look at who I was and how I became who I am and what I can do different, because people are looking at me.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's not just the people in the church.
Yes, ma'am.
It's the people on the outside. And so it took me back to that little girl, that 16-year-old, you know.
Girl, start.
I'm serious. I mean, so it took me back to that place to deal with some of those teenage issues so I could be a much better adult. And then Willie Moore Jr., he came, and you know, oh God, he is so funny, ridiculously funny, but his ministry is so on point. And he has a ministry that empowers and challenges. And he caught me, this was last year, he caught me outside, and he said, Christy, he said, why are you so hard on yourself? And I said, I'm like, dude, stay out my business, you know? He said, you're doing a phenomenal job. He said, but because you are so much of a perfectionist, he said, you'll hinder, God's ability to actually move. He said, give yourself some grace. So I've received encouraging words. I've received rebuke. So it's literally changed me. Now, on the other end with the kids, every year after Youth and Young Adult Weekend, it's like a revival has broken out. That's with the kids that are in our church. It's like they have a change of mindset every year. It's like maturity happens in a weekend.
That's awesome.
And I mean, that sounds crazy, but that's where it is. And then for people in the community, every year after Youth Weekend on Wednesdays, we have youth group. Okay. And we feed people, anybody that come, we feed them in the community, and it's totally free. We have other people that we've never seen before coming into the youth ministry. And some of them have never been to church before. Some of them aren't even coming for Christ. They're coming for mentorship. Okay. But that's a step.
That's right.
We have an open ear, to those kids. So it's changing lives.
Yes.
Amazing.
That's what's happening. That's how it's impacting.
So let's talk about another aspect of that. We talked off air about how the young people transition from Y Crew to Yak. So let's talk about the whole bridging the gap and the helping them with the transitioning of going from one age to another, from one group to another, and how that helps them in their everyday life.
Okay. So at our ministry, Y Crew starts at the age of 13. Okay. It ends technically, you begin to age out at 18, and then we have the transition age bracket which is right at 19 years old, because 19, they're technically still a teenager, yes. Not fully grown. And then you have the young adult ministry. Okay. What we've noticed here is that many times you can have that younger group, and when they start to get like 17 and 18, things start to change a little bit. They start to get jobs. Okay. They start making more adult decisions. So we invest a lot of time during that part, because really the maturation to fully make this adult decisions is not there. Okay. But you know how it is when we were young, when you're teenagers, you think you know everything. Nobody else knows anything. Okay. So we have them right at that point. And many of them are coming into their own self, they're, like I said, they're making more decisions, and things sometimes get a little rocky because parents allow their children to make more decisions. And when parents allow their children to make more decisions, some of them, one of the first things that they trade in if they don't have solid foundation is their faith. And it's because of all of the outside influences and things of that nature. So right at that 16, 17, 18 point, we're pushing hard, to make sure that they have a solid foundation, because 19 and 20 is when you see a lot of people walk away from the faith. I mean, they're on a college campus. How should I say? They have much more to get into.
Yes, ma'am.
Stuff starts waking up.
Yes, stuff start waking up. They have many more distractions. And if they don't have that solid foundation, many times they're lost. So we help to try to bridge the gap, especially with our ministry. What we're doing, we have what's kind of called collaborative ministries right now, okay? So nobody's dropped.
Okay.
So you age out of one group going straight into the next. And the beauty of how we are with Y Crew and Yak right now is that they're intertwined. Okay. When you're 19 and 20, you're allowed to be a mentor for those that are in Y Crew or those that are in ACES. And what we found is when people can mentor other people, they have a greater sense of accountability.
Okay.
So they don't want to do anything that's going to cause anybody else to fall. So they're like, okay, let me get in, let me stay active, let me do these type of things because somebody else is looking at me. Okay. So that's kind of one of our approaches to bridging the gaps. And I would like to say, I think we're doing very good at Fullness of Joy with that period, because we have a stair step starting from nursery all the way up to general church. I mean, we have the nursery from 6 weeks to 3 years old, and then children's church from 4 to 10, and then 10 to 12 you have ACES, and then 13 to 18 you have Y Crew, and from 19 until almost about 30 you have Yak, which is young adult ministry, and then you have general service.
Wow, y'all have it really going on. I want to read some of the Facebook shout outs. I want to thank everyone who is tuned in. Michael Hooks, Helen Scott, Susan Rogers, Kendra Borders, Trina Long, Kyron Henderson, Viola Speak, Heather Moore, and there's some more on here, but I want to read some of the comments. Shanika says, hey fam. Hey. And co-pastor Susan says, Christy Conway makes us proud. She's a passionate, courageous, big-hearted leader who gives it her all. Trina Long says, hey my church fam. Kyron says, I agree. She's definitely a blessing to FLJ. And Catherine says, hello.
Hey y'all.
Hey. Thank you everyone. I see the likes and hearts flowing across the screen. So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and your insight and your love. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting Kelly K as well. So I am just really excited. I can't wait to get into more details of the upcoming event, but I want you all to lay the foundation of what this is all about, why you do what you do and how it has such a huge impact, as you said before, not on just the kids in your church, but the kids in the community. So you want everyone to, it's not about just, okay, come to church, come to Jesus. It's about getting something else, getting the tools you need to carry on through your life. Once I ask you from a male perspective, Christy and I can talk about the young girls and what we see and how we interact with them. What has it been like for you interacting with the young men through these programs?
I tell you, most of the young men who are in Y Crew, or who have been in Y Crew, I call my nephews.
Okay.
So there are some of them that I've known since nursery, since I worked with them in nursery, and to just see the development and to see the turnaround in their lives, because for a while there it was kind of hairy with a couple of them, but to see them turn around and become leaders in the ministry,
amazing.
And to step out and to lead out and to talk out in class, and then to see those people bring other people who are now approaching the step out leadership to talk out. I was teaching a class, and we were talking, and one of the young men who was fairly new to the ministry, he was just spitting out the word and just spitting out answers, and I was like, whoa. And it took me back for a second. I was like, man. And it goes back to my earlier statement. It's like they're finally getting it.
Okay.
All of the frustration and the prayers and the harsh, strong talking to, because with boys, you can't be as soft sometimes. You have to be kind of straightforward and be like, hey, if you do this, this is gonna happen, and you need to stop doing this and this and this. But you still do all of that still with love, and still you have to know how to approach even in that manner. You can't just bite their heads off and expect them to be okay, and it clicks, because it didn't work for us. I mean, you have to remember. But I mean, just seeing some of the guys and just being able to have real conversations with them, again, it has helped me. It has helped me address some stuff in my life that I needed to have conversations and wished that I had the ability to have those conversations earlier. So I love it. I love our crew. I love it.
All right, so we're going to get ready to take a quick break. But first, I want to read a comment by Adrian Everett. Great work that y'all are doing for all the youth in the area. Christy and Ian. And Miss Viola says, way to go, Y crew. And Sonia Sanders says, awesome. It's better to build boys than men. Great work, Christy and Ian. Thank you for being leaders in our community and a warrior for Christ. With that, we'll be right back. Please do not go away.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
How well do you and your spouse communicate? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. It amazes me how much I'm still learning each day. Just when I think I've made some great progress, I mess up and realize I'm still far from being the kind of husband I want to be. But after 25 years of marriage to my wife, Susan, I've discovered a thing or two about how to communicate well. So here's what I've learned about communicating with my wife. First, communicate gently. Because I'm a recovering attorney, Susan sometimes ends up feeling like she's being interrogated by me on the witness stand. So I've learned to pull back and talk in a more gentle tone. For the full list of things I've learned about communicating with my wife, visit markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
The Family Minute with Mark Merrill, helping families love well.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a non-profit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Hey ladies, it's Nettie Jones, the Girlfriend's Therapist. I'm here with my girls, Elise Lyles and Brianna Hill.
The Fab Squad.
Tune in this week for our featured bad woman of color. She's bold,
audacious,
and determined. She's a bad,
shut your mouth,
woman of color. So tune in this week from
10 to 11
right here on KLEK 102.5 FM.
You don't want to miss it.
Tell a friend.
Hello, I'm Officer Victoria Evans. I have always had a desire to help others in need and to be an example and role model to young women by encouraging them to never give up on their dreams. My dream was to become a police officer and to serve my community. In 2016, that dream became a reality, and it is the most rewarding experience of my life. Now I want to let you know about the same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing every month for patrol officers. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com or at the Police Department, 1001 South Caraway Road. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information is available at 870-935-5657.
The Epic Center, located at 1899 Hasbrook Road, County Road 333, is Jonesboro's newest venue for entertainment for the entire family. They offer an auditorium with theater-style seating for up to 1,100 guests, a large stage, professional lighting and sound, dressing rooms, concessions, and more. Available for weddings, concerts, pageants, birthday parties, showers, and more. Booking and other information is available at Epic Center Jonesboro on Facebook, epiccenterjonesboro.com, and at 870-530-5841.
Hello, my name is Quavila. I am over 40 and trying to live my best life possible, but I have secondary lymphedema. It has truly altered my life. The most frustrating part of this is that it went undiagnosed and improperly treated. After enduring several surgeries, I was told in a nonchalant way that maybe losing weight will help. I urge you to listen to your body, do your research, and talk to your doctor. Don't waste time on getting the help you need now.
At 33, a wife of 17 years and 3 children, my name is Kara Maxwell. I was diagnosed with lymphedema after the treatment of breast cancer. Learning about the lymphedema diagnosis is on the rise in the medical community, although there is the least interest of research. Learning I had lymphedema inspired me to become an advocate. Be aware.
House of Details, located at 3217 Herb Street, Suite C, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle, waxing, clear coat protection, basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more. With a motto of, anything mean, we can clean. Details available via Quentin Bogard at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and houseofdetailsjonesboro.com.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quavila Jones, and my very special guests today are Mr. Ian Buchanan and Mrs. Christy Mathis Conway from Fullness of Joy Ministries. During the first part of the show, we talked about the foundation of the youth weekends they hold annually. So in this portion, we're going to get more into the one that's coming up, but I want to read one comment off of Facebook, and then Christy's going to give some more information that she wanted to give before we went to break. From Miss Viola Speed, she says, Miss Christy is doing a great job. And Catherine Moore says, so proud of my FOJ family. Y Crew is a force, a movement, a jewel in the kingdom of God. It is such a blessing to know that my children are covered and what I'm teaching them at home is being reinforced. So thank you so much for that, Miss Cat. Thank you for everybody who's tuned in, who's shown some love, who's giving your comments. Don't stop, keep it going. So
Yes.
we're going to get back into our conversation. So Christy wanted to comment on something we left off with before we went to break.
You asked about the young men. It's our mission, our vision to pour into our young men.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot of attention is given to young ladies.
Yes.
And our young men sometimes are left out. But they have so much to contend with in the world. And it's so much to do out there, so much to get involved with, and some of the things that are not so positive. Some people look and they're like, Christy, y'all always doing something. Y'all got something on the, going on every other month. But I'm a believer, give them something to do.
Right.
That's right.
If you give them something to do, you may be able to divert some of this negative attention that they're getting because they are doing other things in other places. So why not offer our young men something profitable to do?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I've noticed with the people that we encounter on a weekly basis, if you set it out there for them to do, they will come.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one of the things in the world. They always give them something to do. That's why you have so many of our young men, especially so many of our young African American men, that are getting out doing other things because people are giving them something to do.
Yeah.
So I don't want what we are doing to be presented as an alternative. No, this is the thing to do.
Okay.
So we're giving them things that intrigue them, things that spark their curiosity. We're giving them things that they like. We've been blessed with our new facility to have a gym. Boys like to play basketball. They like to be athletic. Let me tell you something that I also have found that boys like to do. They want to know about girls.
True.
So one of our things.
True story.
We do a group talk where guys can ask women whatever they want, and we give them honest answers.
Okay.
You know, and then we do a split session where girls can do the same thing with the guys, and then we have them come together and they ask each other, and it's so funny. Some of our boys be like, why girls be doing that? Why y'all so moody? Why, all this kind of stuff. I mean, but I said all of that to say we give them what they want, but what they need.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Sometimes they think they want one thing, but you know what they really want. So we just kind of tailor it in a fashion to where they can accept it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you all provide a safe environment, but also a loving, inspirational environment where they can learn and grow in the right way.
Absolutely.
And not be influenced in a negative way by whatever the world has to offer.
Absolutely.
That can lead them to a path of destruction.
Absolutely.
All right, then. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the upcoming weekend of events, which is going on this weekend, April 6th through the 8th.
Starts tomorrow.
All right, so let's just jump right into what can people expect Friday night.
Well, Friday night, the whole theme of the conference is thirsty.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I went too far ahead. Go ahead. Please tell us about the theme and how that all came about. I'm sorry.
I'm going to let Christy tell you about the thirsty, and then we'll jump into the details of the conference.
Okay, so Ms. Kwabila, our youth and young adult ministry, we have a group chat. And we were talking, and one of the guys was just like, these girls out here, they so thirsty. And I was like, okay. I said, well, let's talk about that. What does that mean? What does that look like? And they started giving me literally all of these descriptions of how people are behaving, being thirsty. They was like, it make them come out of character. They're doing all these stupid things, everything for attention. And I was like, what are people thirsty for? Attention, money, sex, companionship, fame. I mean, they just went down the line of thirsty. And honest to God, as a team, we had come up with another thing. We was like, well,
we was going consuming fire.
We were all deep and stuff. We're like, yes, it's gonna be the fire of the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
And after that conversation, it totally shifted, because we saw a need.
Okay.
We saw what was going on, and our kids, they gave it to us. And I was like, what do y'all think about thirsty as the theme for youth weekend? And they were like, absolutely. And so what we do for youth and young adult weekend, we have one main theme, and then we have sub themes for every event. And so then they started putting what sub themes could be. And Michaela, she was like, G-Mom, she said, Friday we need to call Pour It Up. And she was like, everybody know, I think it's Rihanna. Rihanna has a song that's called Pour It Up.
I'm kind of behind on some stuff.
Okay, well, I haven't heard the song either, but I'm sure our Pour It Up is very different from what hers is.
In that song, obviously that song is talking about drinking and different things. But for me, what Pour It Up means is when I was out in the world and I was going to the clubs, Pour It Up was what you did to start everything off. You can't drink if you don't pour it up. You can't drink if you don't. If you know that's pregame and whatever.
Absolutely.
So for me, Friday night is always the kickoff of our youth weekend. So Pour It Up fit perfectly because that's the start of getting something to drink. And if you're thirsty, you drink.
Okay.
So.
All right. So getting a little. I was looking at the flyer, noticing that it had different these different themes for the different nights. Okay, so Friday night, Pour It Up, and that starts at what time?
The doors open at 7:00 p.m. Again, all events will be held at Fullness of Joy Ministries, 2120 Thorn Avenue. All roads lead there all weekend. Friday night, the doors will open at 7. What you can expect on Friday night is untraditional ministry.
Okay.
It's all about ministry for us, but we don't just give it to you the regular come in preachy. There's nothing wrong with the Word of God. I love it. I sit on the front row every Sunday and our bishop preaches good words and I'm all for it. But during this time of the year and for this particular setting, we bring in the non-traditional people who are going to give you something different but still give you the word. Okay. Every person that we've ever brought in preached, but you didn't realize that they were preaching to you until you're like, hey, they don't. And this year we are super blessed to have Mr. Ezekiel Ozanwu, who is the founder or co-founder of the Poets in Autumn Tour. He is, I don't even know, like every year that I go to see him, it's another level. Okay. He is amazing. Like, he is fantastic. You do not want to miss him. And if you don't know who he is, I encourage you to go on YouTube and look him up before you come.
All right.
And also on Friday, we have some of Mid-South's finest. We have Mr. Larry Cashmere from Memphis, Tennessee, that's going to be coming to minister to us. And he is also blessed in the poetic ministry of the arts. And we have Miss Nakaya Peel. She's a little girl right out of Jonesboro, Arkansas. Sheila Clay is her mom. She's going to be there and she's going to be sharing with us. And then we have our very own people from Fullness of Joy, Y Crew Youth Ministries that
some of the best to ever do it.
And on Saturday, we have Quench Your Thirst, and we are presenting a spring fashion show. And so you're gonna see the hottest spring fashion, at the runway at 2120 Thorn, and it's gonna be nice. We had a winter fashion show and it was amazing. And so we expect nothing less on Saturday, and we're gonna have vendors there. Miss Nikki Williams with Extremely Bold.
We also have Kenyatta Ward with Sweet Tooth Bakery. We have Samuel Harris with Rehoboth Art. Yes, he is. And he's also, shout out, he's part of Y Crew staff, so we're very excited that he's going to show. And then we have a couple of others that are in the works. We're hoping to set up like a mini vendor mall so you can have options. Also, we're going to have the Refinery from here in Jonesboro. They're going to be showing some of their pieces, as well as Epiphany Fashions, who is a boutique that is ran by our very own Minister Tiffany Wright.
Okay. All right, we have another comment from Janae Abston. Okay, she says, awesome ministry, and co-pastor Susan says spoken word artist.
Yeah, she's talking about Mr. Ezekiel.
Okay.
He is known nationally, internationally. Yeah, thank you for his spoken word ministry. And I'm telling you, if you are into the arts, if you are into spoken word, if you are into poetry, and I'm not talking about just Christian poetry, if you like it, be there. I'm not saying saying if you're 18, you can't come after that. It is for the young, for the old, the young at heart. Just be there. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
Okay.
I mean, he's just fantastic.
He is.
I mean, I don't.
It's crazy how he puts stuff together. It's just.
He's gifted with words. But back to the fashion show.
Okay.
Right after the fashion show, we're going to have a block party.
Okay.
Previously, we were going to have it the street blocked off near the church, but we've since found out that it's supposed to be 40 degrees and a possibility of snow. So we're not canceling our block party. We already have the food, already have the DJ, already have that other stuff. Instead of having it outside, we want people to be inside and warm. So we'll be upstairs in the Y Crew wing, in the gym, feeding, just having a big party. It's going to be absolutely awesome, and you can expect to hear some wonderful singing, see some free form art there, and some poetic pieces, some rapping. It's going to be awesome. And that's immediately following the fashion show. But I would like to say there is a small cover charge for the fashion show.
Yes.
It's only $3 to get in. But the block party itself is free. And we are charging to get into this because we have a budget that we try to reach every year, just so that we can give back to the community. It is for our community outreach programs and our scholarship program. So all of the money, the proceeds that we receive go back into the community. We're not keeping it for ourselves.
And if most people know how churches operate, that's exactly what you do. You raise money, yes, of course, to pay bills, but also you have separate funds to handle community business. So you are community based. So I mean, you give back, and I see a lot of things that you all do. Via social. Thank God for social media. It's a blessing and a curse sometimes, but thank God for social media because we are able to see some of the good works that you all are doing. Okay, we have another comment. I want to say hey to Officer Hagens for joining us, and co-pastor Rogers says one of my favorite weekends of the year, and I'm 55.
It is. Co-pastor, really she be getting down. First lady, forgive me. I'm going to put you out there. Y'all go on the Y Crew website. You will see a picture of our co-pastor on there, and she is getting down. She has her leather on, and she's dancing.
Yes.
I mean, we're just free on that day, and it's fun. It's carefree. It's where you can come and have liberty. Church doesn't have to be uptight.
Stuffy.
Right.
And you don't have to be all frowned up and bougie to receive from the Lord. We serve a good God. So in him is freedom, it's liberty, it's joy. It's peace, it's harmony. So we're just light. We just have fun. So it's gonna be great. One of the other things that I'm really, really excited about, Miss Quabila, is Sunday.
Yes.
And this is called Satisfied Sunday.
Yes, Satisfied Sunday.
So once you pour it up, you start quenching your thirst, and now you're satisfied.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. So services start at 11.
At 11, and our very own Bishop Adrian Rogers will be the speaker on Sunday morning. I wanted to interject during the whole weekend. Come comfortable, come ready to have fun, come ready to dance, come ready to, get your worship on in a different manner. Our name says Radically Expressing Worship, and we do just that. We'll have games and door prizes and just different
door prizes.
Oh, we got and we got some good ones. I promise you, we got some stuff that you gonna want. But just come that whole weekend. But Sunday morning, it's always we used to have what's called hype church when I first got there, and this weekend is literally hype weekend. I mean, it's energy all weekend. If you don't leave youth weekend tired and just felt like you had a full experience, then you didn't invest anything in it. And then Sunday night, man, Sunday night might possibly be my most favorite part of the whole weekend. Sunday night, we are doing a community baptism.
Wow.
You do not have to be a member of Fullness of Joy. You do not have to be a youth. You do not have to. If you feel like that you need to come to the water, then we are accepting. I'm gonna let Chris talk because I get broken up when I think about it.
Today.
It's for me, when I recently got rebaptized, and I've been baptized 4 times. So I know a lot of people think, well, praise God. I know a lot of people think that, you only need one, but anytime that you feel like that's an outward expression of your faith and your love and your commitment to Christ. So for me, this last time, it broke something in my life, and that's what we're hoping that will happen at this. It will change and break something in you that will cause you to come fully back to Christ and fully commit. So that's my.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, and our very own minister Christy Conway will be sharing the word on Sunday night as well.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be preaching on Sunday night. And I would love for everybody to come out and be a part. Baptism for me is very important. Mm-hmm. It's something that I cherish. Like Ian said, baptism is just an outward expression of your faith, and basically what the water represents, us going down into the water is representing us dying to our old ways, and then coming up means coming up with new life, new purpose, a new life in Christ, Jesus, So we basically replicate the same thing that Christ did. He was buried, and then he was resurrected. And so that's what we're doing, burying our old sinful ways and coming up new. And to me, baptism is just like it's an outward show of your inner confession. Okay. To me, it's kind of just like a marriage ring. I married Chris. I took an oath before Christ. My ring signifies that I'm married to him. Baptism shows the world I'm taken.
Okay.
It's my outward expression of love to Christ. Hey, I'm taken. I'm not going back. I'm new.
Okay.
I'm betrothed to him forever.
And if at any point you make that decision that you want to get baptized, feel free to, at any point in the weekend to find myself or Minister Conway or any of the youth staff. We'll be more than happy to let you know what you need to do. Also, if someone shows up that night and they make that decision to give their life to Christ and to do that during that night, we will have extra stuff for them to come and go to the water in as well.
That's amazing. All right, we're going to take another quick break. We want to say hello to Alexis Flowers for joining us. She said, "This is awesome. I love my church." Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I want to say hello to Amanda Moffitt Donovan, Maddie Warren, and Jonathan Hagan says, "Hello, love my church, FLJ, and my leaders, Adrian and Susan Rogers, Miss Christy and her staff. Does a great job. Does a great job with the
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. Here are 3 things every teen needs to learn about money. First, teach the value of saving while you're young, thanks to compound interest. If an 18-year-old put $3,000 into a retirement account today and it earned an average interest rate of 8%, she would have more than $100,000 in that account when she turns 65. Second, teach them to value earned money via part-time employment, entrepreneurship, and investing over loans or gifts. If the only time you ever talk about money is when they're asking you for some, you're setting them up for financial failure. Finally, teach teens the rewards of delayed gratification. Let them know that it's far better to save for what they want instead of taking on credit card debt just to get it right now. When it comes to teaching money lessons, especially to teens, do as I say, not as I do, just won't cut it. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Now it's even easier than ever to support KLEK 102.5 FM. If you love what we do and want to support us, you can now donate by simply sending a text message. That's right. All you have to do is text the keyword GIVE to KLEK to 844-544-7171. Once again, text the keyword GIVE to KLEK to 844-544-7171 to make your donation. And don't worry how to spell it. Either way you spell it, whether using the number 2, letter T-O, or T-O-O. If you text GIVE to KLEK to 844-544-7171, you will be able to make your tax-deductible donation. We're your community radio station where it's all about your life, your music. Don't forget, text GIVE to KLEK to 844-544-7171.
KLEK thanks C.J. Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
Full Sun Gifts, celebrating their 1-year anniversary throughout April, is a supporter of KLEK. Full Sun Gifts is located at 606 Southwest Drive in Jonesboro and offers a variety of gift items for all occasions. Full Sun will host the Scout Badge Trunk Show April 12th and 13th and the Alley and Bird Jewelry Trunk Show April 20th. More information is available at Full Sun Gifts on Facebook and Instagram and 870-974-8480.
Stark's Auto Plaza at 2829 Red Wolf Boulevard is a proud KLEK supporter, offering luxury pre-owned vehicles sold wholesale to the public. At Stark's, we never say no. 870-203-9980. Details at starksautoplaza.com.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com.
Did you know that KLEK 102.5 FM is a nonprofit organization? Did you know that you can donate to KLEK 102.5 FM and your donation is tax deductible? Donations to nonprofit organizations such as KLEK, can reduce the amount of taxes you may owe the IRS or increase the amount of any potential tax refund. Support your KLEK today. You can donate by calling 870-277-1080, visiting our studio at 1411 Franklin Street in Jonesboro, or on our website, www.klekfm.org. We at KLEK 102.5 FM are blessed and grateful for your support.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I was trying to read a comment before we went to break, so I'll read a few more comments here. From Officer Jonathan J. Higgins, he says, hello, love my church, FOJ, and my leaders, Agent and Susan Rogers. Miss Christy and her staff is doing a great job with the youth from the church and in the area. I can see the results daily on my job, and he would know because he is out and about, officer with the Jonesboro Police Department, so he sees everybody. So thank you, Officer Higgins, for that. Tanisha, yes, Burnett says, love my FOJ family. And Ms. Paul Ann Witherspoon says, I'm excited. One of the most awesome weekends at Fullness is always live at the Joy. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for that. Okay, so in this last few moments, I'm going to allow Ms. Christy and Mr. Ian to wrap up any final thoughts and other announcements they would like to share.
Okay. I wanted to, every year we always want to make sure that our theme has a scripture background, and then we always take that theme and come up with a Y Crew translation, if you will. So our theme scripture this year is Isaiah 55, 1 through 3a, and the translation that we use, the world's translation, is the New Living Translation, and it reads, is anyone thirsty, come and drink, even if you have no money. Come take your choice of wine or milk, it's all free. Why spend your money on food that does not give you strength? Why pay for food that does you no good? Listen to me, and you will eat what is good. You will enjoy the finest foods. Come to me with your ears wide open. Listen, and you will find life. Okay. The Y Crew translation, you thirsty or nah? Why do you keep wasting money on stuff that's not quenching your thirst or satisfying you? If you come here, you will be filled for free, dripping in finesse. It's your choice, but you must listen to me to live. So that's just breaking it down to where you can understand the scripture and our thoughts behind being thirsty.
It's still 2.5 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. And I just wanted to say, Y Crew is not just an event ministry. We offer life skill classes and Bible study classes every Wednesday night. We feed every Wednesday night. We have a full list of activities that we do every year. Wow. We have the most livest after party for any Nettleton event called the Fifth Quarter. We have a National Day of Prayer drive-through coming up in May. Coming up. It's coming up actually May the 3rd, Thursday, May the 3rd. We'll have that.
Last year I did it in the rain.
We did it in the rain, and it was cold rain, but we were still out there. So we're going to do it again this year. We're very proud of all of our graduates. We have talent showcases coming up. We have ACT classes. All of our events are listed on our Y Crew page. Miss Christy is going to give you that Y Crew website.
You can visit us at www.ycrew-foj.org, and you can see our list of events, the things that we do, and what we stand for. I want to close us out just by saying that we have something to offer.
Yes.
Okay. And if you're thirsty,
come.
If you need attention, come. If you need somebody to talk to, come. If you just want to come and enjoy a good event, be there. Okay. It's the place to be this weekend, 2120 Thorn Avenue, Fullness of Joy. Y Crew Youth and Young Adult Ministries, we are hosting the best
youth weekend
ever. Ever. Right.
Ever.
So be there.
And I wanted to say a huge thank you to our leaders, Bishop Adrian and co-pastor Susan Rogers, and to all of Fullness of Joy who supports Y-Crew without question. I also want to say a huge thank you. I speak for the entire staff, saying thank you to Minister Conway. She pushes us even when we don't want to be pushed in areas that we don't want to be pushed, and we know that she loves us. We call her the lioness for good reason.
Yeah.
So we would just want to say thank you. Come. The only thing that there's a charge for is the fashion show. If you have any questions, see any of our Facebook pages, and we'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a very blessed day.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all